It's like taking your brain to the gym. I've seen.
Chukwuemeka, we greet you, our Heavenly Father, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the Maker of heaven and earth. We are before you this morning to thank you for all your mercies, for all the things you've been doing. We have no other person to turn to. We have no other person to praise but you, because your handwork is great. You are the biggest magician, the miraculous worker. You perform all your miracles, and we watch. And this is why we believe in you. You heal the blind, and you cure the deaf. Chukwuemeka, glory to your name. We cannot put our back or turn our back on you. Because you chose our leader, Mazi, you knew, even before we did, that there is an honorable person in the name of Nnamdi Kanu. And you chose him. And said, my son, go and save my people. And then you back him up with people like Chukwuemeka and all those that are working very hard to see that your children are rescued, that we are safe. You are exposing the world for what they are, and you chose untimely fashion. This is why we bow before you. This is why we come before you every morning to say thank you. And we will continue to beg because we have no other choice. We know you are the Almighty. Glory to your name. He said, today is January 7, 2020. This is live broadcast from Radio Biafra USA. It's coming to you through Radio Biafra London on the Mazi Chukwuemeka. My name is Mazi Chukwuemeka Alozie. How's everybody? We are looking at the issues, things that are happening around the world. And it starts from one place. It's like watching a fire erupt each time the smoke comes from a particular spot. Like a mountain trying to erupt. When the smoke starts billowing, you know it's time. And you watch the smoke. And then the trembling. And then the explosion. It blows its top. That is what we're experiencing in the world today. That is what we are watching. You see, when we bring up the news, we bring up the news for those that are delinquent. They are starved from reality. They are starved from facts. The information is not passed on to them. Why are the information not given to them? Because they want to be kept in the dark. You keep them in the dark, then they won't know what is going on. Then they'll continue to do the business as usual. When people are not informed, they are in the dark. And when you are not informed, you cannot act. You cannot move forward, you cannot move backwards. You just stand still. And this is at a perfect time for us to look at issues. And the media is a key to it, and we are trying, we are doing our best. We are using what we have, and we will continue to use it. It is not almighty, but we will continue to make use of what we have, and we make the best of it. It's like you have a jalopy. It's not up to pie, it's not flash, it's not interesting. Just get me there. If the leg falls off, you put it back. And regardless of how it goes, you get where you're going. Then the nut falls off, you put it back. You go to the mechanic, put it in there. He puts it in there and you continue. That's making the best of what you have. And that is what we are doing. And this is why we call on our people. All those that have devoted themselves to the relay station in Onitsha and Newe province, please, you see the time we're in now, we need those things, okay? And we praise all of you. We thank all of you. And likewise, all those for the charity foundation established by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Please make your contribution to For those using Zelle, make it to br67foundation@gmail.com. And then those using paper payment like certified check and money order, then you make it payable to Biafra Foundation Inc. And you mail it to Biafra Foundation Inc. P.O. Box 801519, Acworth, Georgia. The zip code is 30101. And do not forget to put your return address on top of the envelope. Most of you have been hearing about the strike made on Iranian general. And we were getting carried away as such. And you see, our people like to get involved. This is where we have to be very, very careful. We have to be very, very careful. Because when you get yourself into international politics that you have no clue about what is going on, you will be consumed. Sometimes you'll be left with nothing. I'll give you an instance. When Trump was inaugurated, sometime, I'm thinking February, our men were slaughtered in Iguacha. What was their crime? They were celebrating the inauguration of Trump. And what was the charge made by the soldiers? We will kill you, nothing will happen. The US will not rescue you. And they did. They did. Pay attention to where I'm taking you to. When I mean pay attention, when I'm saying something, I try to balance it. Okay, so that we don't fall headlong with nothing holding us back. They can use you and play politics as much as they want. If you don't use your brain, you become a victim, and you can have a free fall that there's not even a way somebody can rescue you. Our men were slaughtered in Iguacha. They knelt down like they were engaging a firing range and mowed down our people. And nothing happened. The U.S. has a consulate in Nigeria. Did they report that to the Trump administration? No, they did not. Did they tell Trump that there are people dying for him? They did not. And it was swept under the rug. Anything done to Biafrans on behalf of Trump were not said. Messages were not relayed. And that goes on. Our men were murdered and butchered in Aba. Did the U.S. receive the message? No. Did the ambassador know? Yes, he did. He knows. He knew about it. Was it reported? No. Until Al Jazeera said it. Did the U.S. news carry it? No. Nobody said it. And we expect the U.S. to come and do the needful. International politics. Interest. During the Nigerian Biafran War, Biafrans were starved to death. We were starved to death. Britain pioneered it. Did the U.S. know about it? Yes, they knew. Did Nixon say something about it? Yes, he did. Any action taken? No. Rather, they were international observers sent. They did not come as international observers. They came as spies. After the visit of of the international observers came the end of Biafra, because they went, they looked at what we were doing then, the past information. Helped by our own people. Those that see nothing good in their own people, they betray you. And today we are suffering. Let us assume that those people worked on behalf of the federal government. Let's say they worked to make Nigeria one. Are we still one? What has their effort yielded? More punishment, more sufferings. Are they better off? No, they are not. For the price at which they betrayed their people, are they better off? No. For cost, are they better off? No. We are worse off. And it will be therefore unimaginable for somebody to come to them and say, I am betraying my people. You continue to betray, and we continue to suffer. And you are the one suffering. Pay close attention to where I'm going. And we have our people involved in Nigerian national politics. They tell you to go there, you go there. They tell you to come here, you come here. They tell you sit there, you sit there. Like a dog waiting patiently for the bone from its master. You are the patient dog. And all they do is throw the bone to you while you are resting under the table and you're satisfied. That is our state. That is our condition. They butchered us 1960. When we were celebrating independence, they were celebrating occupation of Biafra land. The end of Biafra, the Igbos. And then they came up with the national anthem. Nigeria, we held their native land. Don't have and talk about defined brotherhood we stand. Which brotherhood did you stand on? The tribe and tongue differs, but never stood in brotherliness. The crack was so huge, the division was there. And they said, hallelujah. Your flag shall be a symbol of unity, which was a bold first lie. Then came 66. The bottom fell off. 67, 68, 69, 70. Biafrans, over 6 million perished. From the same people who brand themselves that they are your brothers. And then from your colonial masters who say they are Christians. And they turn their backs on you and armed your enemies to kill you. And that brings me to the point I'm telling you, keep watch with regard to what I'm saying. Were they butchering you because you're not Christians? No, you are Christian, all right. You're a Christian. Your name is Christian. Your name is Christopher. Your name is Charity. Your name is Angel. But does that save you? No, it does not. You're built to die because of economic consequences. That is the key to your survival. Economy. Resource control. You don't get it. You will not get it. And you will never get it. I'll try to break it down to the lowest. Maybe you will, maybe you will not. Here came the revolutionary Shia that was removed, Reza Pahlavi, in the 70s, replaced by Khomeini. And Khomeini was in exile. And when he came, the ground shook in Iran. When he came, the ground shook. That led to the takeover of U.S. Embassy in Tehran. And the order of the day was oil, crude oil. Crude oil. And that was when U.S. had the restrictions as to where to drill and where not to drill oil in the U.S. And they acted like as if they didn't have oil. U.S. has oil in quantums. It is economic comparative advantage. What it will cost you to produce. And then you have the OPEC countries wielding their club left and right. If you don't do what we ask you to do, we will shut off the oil. Blackmail. They were trying to direct international politics. If you don't recognize Palestine, we will shut off the oil. If you don't do this, we will shut off the oil. If you don't obey us, we will shut off the oil. Meanwhile, you have Saudi Arabia with their thousands and thousands of students spread all over the United States. There is no college campus you will go in the 70s. You will not find Iraqis, Indians, Saudis, Middle East in general. They learned the trade. They learned the technology. They went home, then they started challenging their masters. And I could remember some of my schoolmates from Saudi Arabia. I still have vivid of who they look like and what they look like. And they went home. Are you going to stay? No. I have limited amount of years to be here and I'll go home. They were sent. Learn, come back and make your home better. And that they did. Then came Iran and Iraq. Saddam Hussein, the monster as was labeled, was once the right-hand man of the U.S. Saddam Hussein never drove a car that was not made in the U.S. His luxurious cars made in the U.S. I'm trying to get you to see when you indulge in international politics, be careful, because there are masters of the game. They control your life. They control what you do. Yesterday I gave you a peep, a brief of what's about to happen. And today it's happening. These people tell you that they control the resources. And I told you about Congo. I told you about Sierra Leone. Many countries where you have resources, they are owned and controlled by private interests, supported by their foreign government. Did you remember when the British ex-Prime Minister came to Nigeria over gold? You remember? And that was when the killings were common in Zamfara. But Nigeria wasn't reporting to you about gold. Rather, they were key to crude oil. And then came Boris Johnson, thanking the Navy for protecting their shipping sources. And we were there moping. International politics, control of resources. Any which way you go, that is the end game. And came in the 80s, US that before then, prior to that, Houston was the world capital of oil, shipping, Greeks, you name it. Go to Houston, that's their headquarters. And then you come somewhere like Louisiana, you have oil wells, oil rigs every field. They are covered all over. Until the cost of production determine who stays and who doesn't stay in business. Then the oil fields started closing. A case in point was Mobile Valdez. You remember Exxon. You remember the oil spill. You remember what it cost them. The price of oil shot up because the U.S. made sure when you destroy the environment, you will pay. And they hammered Exxon to pay. The price of oil never came back down. Control of resources. Whereas in the 60s, I could still remember when the oil spill was very common. The local newspapers were reporting about the oil spill. Nobody said it. Shell did not say a damn thing. '60s, '70s, the war broke out. After the war, '80s, '90s, we are in 2000. The spills are still there. Nobody's doing anything. Rather, Shell can take up a program and tell you what they think and what they're going to do. After that, that's the end of it. You will not hear things, they will not do anything. You are suffering. Carcinogens are rampant. And our people are dying. Control of resources. When they eliminate the inhabitants, then they will take over. Control of resources. International politics. Then came the elimination of the Iranian commander, Qassam. Control of resources. What did you see? When every other part of the world is quiet, when other international bodies are watching what is unfolding, guess who is taking the center stage? Nigeria. It becomes a headline news. US versus Iran. Nigeria police on red alert over rising tension. It's like a chicken trying to separate a fight between two elephants. I don't know if that really makes sense. US versus Iran, not Nigeria versus Iran, not Nigeria versus US, it is US versus Iran. What the hell is their interest? Police on red alert over rising tension. Why are you on red alert? Because you know that Iran has vested interest in Nigeria. The Islamic Bank is Iran. Islamic this and that is Iran. And you are putting yourself in there. And then you come to DCP Frank Mba, first public relation officer, first headquarters, in a statement sometimes said, this proactive measure followed intelligence reports over the recent killings of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. According to him, some domestic interests are planning to embark on massive public disturbances and sabotage. What are they sabotaging? What interest and what are they sabotaging? You're not getting it. Then came today the announcement about the demonstration in all parts of the north. Burning U.S. flag date to America. Is the embassy in U.S. in the U.S. embassy in Abuja? They are aware of it. Yes, they are aware. Are they sending the message to Washington, D.C.? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they will keep it quiet so that they will not know that their much ally is against them. And it's the same people that they are talking about economic interest. That's why I told you about international politics. Be careful where you line up, because at the end of the day, you might wind up with nothing behind your back. It became an international issue right in the middle of the United States engaging in this melee. Nikki Haley made a statement. The only ones mourning Soleimani are Democrat leadership. You get it? I will link it up for you so that you will understand what I'm saying. Former ambassador says the Iranian general death should be celebrated. Haley said Monday that the Democratic Leadership 2020 presidential candidates are the only ones mourning the death of Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. I will tell you, let this, you don't see anyone standing up for Iran. You're not hearing any of the Gulf members. You're not hearing China. You're not hearing Russia, said the Republican Haley on Fox News, Sean Hannity show. The only ones that are mourning the loss of Soleimani are the Democrats. Why did she say it? Oh, congressional Democrats and the 2020 presidential candidates have slammed President Trump for the drone strike Friday that killed Iranian military leader responsible for hundreds of American deaths in the Middle East. And this is why I made a reference. You see? Do you see? What you don't know is greater than you. And then you have your police chief telling you to be careful. What is the interest that Iran has that will warrant demonstration in the streets of Abuja? It is the same. You remember Zazaki, the Sunnis and the Shiites. You remember? When they fight, they fight. And what you want to do is get yourself involved. And we will just mope and look. And mope and look. The same government Where do we go from here? Last time French envoy was blasted. And you see, like, I can tell you, many things take place, but are we following the right path? Are they playing us as a game? When we entrust every of our hope and they prefer their economic interest, their interest over your well-being, and we seem not to be able to stand on our two legs. The poor gets poorer, the rich gets richer. All we do is stand, lament, cry, and then in the back they are supplying them with arms and ammunition to do what they are doing. Continue to perpetrate crime on your people. Kill them. It is not of our interest. What matters to us is our economic benefit. And they'll go to any length to get you out of the way. If anything you can do might pose a problem to their interest, you will pay. Then what about your own interest, the owners of the resources? What you get is the arms and ammunition to kill your own brother, devastate your village and your town, and they will come and extract the resources. While they arm you to kill yourself, they will stay on the sideline and watch. And then I gave you the, for instance, Welby. I made a mention of it later in the week. How he can, after being Buhari's friend, then Archbishop of Canterbury breaks silence on killings of 12 Christians. Is that the only reason? After killing 12 Christians? So 12 Christians, how do they equal over 6 million Christians, Biafrans, killed? Does that jive? I may ask you. You're coming to relative comparison. Ratio-wise, it does not even ring a bell. It does not measure up. Or is it guilty conscience that we are calling you to carpets about the roles you've been playing? And it is you and your people, your leaders, that said they would rather have Biafrans die than leave them to be a nation and control their resources. There you go again, resource control. That is the game. The moment you understand what you are fighting against, the better off you will be, the more chance you stand to control your lives. Otherwise, you are not going anywhere. You will not make any headway in any shape or form. And how do you go about doing it? Understand who you are and self-control. Archbishop of Canterbury, Most Right Reverend Justin Portal Welby, has condemned the killings of 12 Christians by Islamic State West Africa province. Did you extract anything from that I read? Did you? Maybe you did not, but I will tell you why. And I'll mention it to you. Christian captives were executed by the Islamic State West Africa province during the week. Now you get it. Christian captives were executed by the Islamic State West Africa province during the week. Now they have West Africa province, and they have North African province, and they have Central Africa province. So now they have West African province. Note the demarcations. And these are the ones, the West African province are the ones built to take over your land, which they are currently doing. They are occupying your villages. They are occupying your cities. And they are unloading them from nowhere. And we are watching. And then the Archbishop expressed sadness over the incidents, described the victims as martyrs of Christ. What about those 6 million Biafrans killed? Were they martyrs? Martyrs of who? When the world Christian churches performed the minimal role in the rehabilitation and feeding of the starving Biafrans, the starving Christian Biafrans. You are arming the Fulanis to kill. Were they martyrs? Sometimes you question our way of accepting certain information. Then you come to those that are on the same block with Archbishop Welby. Boko Haram, terror groups holding Nigeria to ransom. Martins. Worried by the incessant killings of Christians in the north, Catholic Archbishop of Lagos, Most Reverend Alfred Adewale Martins, has urged President Muhammad Buhari to take immediate steps to ensure safety and security of Christians. He said Christians now live in fear as they were treated like engendered species. But does that make sense to you? Where is the Pope? And where is Welby? Resource control. And in the name of religion. And in the name of religion, they are using the Fulanis to control your resources. If you want me to spell it out that way, then I will. Why are they spreading that much? Why do you have Islamic banks in all over Nigeria? Resource control. And that's why we're telling our brothers, those that have the money and think they have everything on earth, they will seize your money. They will convert it to Islamic bank and they'll tell you, come and explain how you got the money. And you'll be left with nothing. Resource control. And you did not get a hint or a hint of anything. Did you remember when Hillary lost the president's race? Did you see how people in the house, the Fulanis, took off running? They invested so much to ensure that Hillary wins. But she lost. And then they took off running. I hope somebody will be able to dig that up and put it up. There was something somebody put up. I'm just using it in case of reference. On June 29th, a report by the British newspaper, the Telegraph, said the Iranians were setting up terror cells in Africa under Suleiman's directions. The paper reported that the Iranian cells may be active in Sudan, Chad, Niger, the Gambia, the Central African Republic. And then this strikes. And what were the Democrats doing condemning Trump? The one that I don't really care and I don't know how authentic it is, and it will not surprise me even if it is authentic. And that brings me back to Islamic West Africa, whatever organization. Secretary of State Pompeo reveals that Nigerian President John has and his corrupt administration offered the U.S. Democratic Party the sum of $500,000 to aid the Senate impeachment of President Trump. On Tuesday evening, Pompeo had told Fox News and vowed that the U.S. government must punish those involved and cannot tolerate such attitude from government that her citizens are suffering and living in abject poverty. Are you getting what I'm saying together now? They bribe. They have been denoted as terrorist government. And Boko Haram is there. They go as far as to bribe. Bribery. Money is nothing. And you see how they are slowly evolving themselves into something that will consume them. And we pray to Chukwuemeka. We always pray. Bring them out in your own way. And he is answering our prayer. Let's see where the drone will target next. When what they do is target Christians, eliminate them, occupy their lands. Who is the terrorist government? I may ask. U.S. names Nigeria, Boko Haram, and Ansaru terrorists. The U.S. has designated Nigeria, Boko Haram, and Ansaru militant group as foreign terrorist organizations. The State Department has described the move as an important step to help Nigeria root out violent extremism. It means U.S. regulatory agencies are instructed to block business and financial transactions with the groups. Boko Haram want to impose Islamic law in northern Nigeria and has been blamed for thousands of deaths. Ansaru is seen as the offshoot of Boko Haram. Boko Haram began its insurgency in 2009 and targets both the military and civilians. But that is not in detail. If the U.S. labels Boko Haram a terrorist organization, what does the government say? They have not proscribed them. And who is Boko Haram? It is the government. Do you see what I'm telling you about international politics? They use organizations, people from strange places, to destabilize you. And we fall victim to these games. And we will continue until we realize who we are. We will continue to face these impediments. They are impediments, that there are things that get in our way. In as much as these things are concentrated on the Muslims, what are we as Christians doing to separate ourselves? We are not doing much. Rather, you see some of us vomit nonsense from our mouth. When they are telling you that Christians can never be Nigerian president again, you see some of you talking about presidency 2023. Former Secretary of Political Committee of Arewa Consultative Forum, Alhaji Mohammed Abdul Rahman, said that a certain Christian can never become president of Nigeria. Why do you want to be president of Nigeria? Not to talk of being a Christian. And then you see the foreign governments running to the Fulanis, arming them to kill you, a Christian. And we are shouting. And some of them are telling you, all we want in Nigeria is Islam. Professor Akintola. I hope Professor Akintola. Ishaq Akintola, the founder of Muslim Rights Concern, has said that Christianity has destroyed Nigeria and that they needed only Islam, adding that the British colonial government bequeathed a legacy of Christianization to the Nigerian nation. Akintola expresses support for Muhammad, saying that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, is right on his call for a constitutional amendment to accommodate some peculiarities of Sharia law which have been ignored for so long. Now, listen again. International politics. You have Christians, you have Muslims, you have isolated Qasem, and you've taken care of him for promoting Islamization. And you have Boko Haram being chief, and all those that are doing all these things. And you are not understanding what I'm saying. You are not understanding what is happening around you. And then you come to make a statement that Northern Muslims resisted and the British invaded the North. Muslim resistance was brutally broken by the ruthless massacre of thousands of Muslims, freedom fighters in Hausa land, particularly in Burmi, 1903, Saturi, 1906, and Zinda, 1917. Then why are we still fighting to be one, for God's sake? If we are all civilized, if we all know our differences, if we all know that we can never be one, why are we brutalizing ourselves? Why are we inflicting hatred unnecessarily? Why? Are all these things religiously oriented? Or is there anything behind it? Maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. If the British committed all these crimes, why did they arm you to kill Biafrans? Why did they endorse Russia to supply their MiGs? Why did they assist Egypt bribed Egypt to furnish their pilots who bombed markets, schools, hospitals, refugee camps. If you're talking on Christian level, no, you're not remembering. That's not what it is. It is resource control. And you had the British minister, the prime minister then said that the worst thing they can do is to let this amount of resources be in the hands of Biafrans. Instead, it will be in the hands of Biafrans. They will bring your enemies to kill you. The Russians they don't get along with, they told them to supply the mix, and they did. These are the Russians they call communist countries. They will go as far as to ensure that you are dead. And we are here talking about fruitless politics. We think we know. Whereas we are dying due to our natural resources. And nothing will save us. They will continue until nothing is left of us. Disturbance, restlessness, it will continue. And I ask you, if you are a Muslim, if the British killed you, why did they arm you to kill Christians? Why do you have the issue with Iran? Why do you have the issue with Saddam Hussein, which they eventually killed? Why do you have the issue with Muammar Gaddafi, who died? They killed him. Countless people they slaughtered. International politics, resource control. Then I ask you a question. Do you know why they are giving the Northerners arms and ammunition to kill you? Why has Boko Haram not been eliminated? And that brought me to a shocking revelation. It is not surprising, nor will it be the end. It is our ability to understand what is happening to us and why it is happening to us. You think you know politics. You don't know politics. You will never know politics.
Would you walk us through the Boko Haram offensive?
Boko Haram offensive was really not part of executive outcomes. That was STEP International that actually partook in that offensive. I need to first of all make it very clear that we were a subcontractor. There was a prime contractor appointed that appointed us as a subcontractor. Our initial aim was not Boko Haram per se, but it was to rescue the Chibok girls. They were the girls that had been kidnapped, and where the Western response was #SaveTheGirls. That type of nonsense does not save girls. Unfortunately, these girls became victims of a situation where the security had broken down in a specific area. They were kidnapped, and that was the first mission, rescue the Chibok girls. We then did a selection process of the Nigerian soldiers. The soldiers were retained after the selection process, were then trained in a very specific way to conduct a hostage rescue operation, and that requires a very specific type of person. However, approximately 5 or 6 weeks into the training of the hostage rescue team, we were asked to change our mission. And that mission was to go to a town called Maiduguri in northeast Nigeria that had come under severe threat of Boko Haram. We then rapidly had to transition what we were doing and suddenly train a very offensive force with a minimum of equipment, and we rushed to Maiduguri. We met with the 7th Infantry Division commander. We finally understood the pressures he was under, and our suggestion was to him that this force we had trained, which we named the 72nd Mobile Strike Force, would actually spearhead the division. And that is precisely what we did. The operation was in 3 phases. The first phase was to actually cut a dividing line across northeastern Nigeria and isolate Boko Haram into 2 defined areas, and then mop up one area in the south was the start, and after that was done, mop up in the north. The division would follow behind, occupy terrain. We would train the division in situ in defensive positions, etc. But we were never allowed to execute the entire operation. So in 1 month, we took back terrain larger than Belgium from Boko Haram. We were not allowed to finish because it came at a time when governments were in the process of changing. I think President Jonathan's government possibly saw the entire Boko Haram contract, if we call it that, almost as a last gasp in order to regain popularity. The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract.
Could you name that foreign government?
Yes, we were told it was the United States, and they had actually funded President Buhari's campaign. The campaign manager for President Buhari came from the US, and I'm not saying that the United States is bad. I understand foreign interests, but I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram on the integrity of the state of Nigeria ought to be actually a priority. It wasn't.
Why do you think the US would intervene to abort such operation?
Again, I can't answer that. I think that the US can answer, but what I've come to realize, that is when a government's foreign interests clash with the state's own domestic interests, conflict is bound to ensue. And those conflicts usually just continue with no end. And we can look at all the conflicts in Africa where foreign forces have come in, they've prolonged those conflicts, they haven't ended those conflicts. And the amount of money and manpower and equipment thrown at those conflicts says to me that something is wrong if no end result is achieved. And surely that end result should be to end the conflict and establish a basis for negotiations, come to an agreement, and then re-establish governance. But that's not what's happening in Africa.
How much did you charge the Nigerian government?
Well, first of all, we didn't charge the Nigerian government. And I think here that is a question the Nigerian government can answer. We were one subcontractor. So in other words, the Nigerian government appointed a contractor, and we contracted to that contractor as their subcontractor. So I think that's all I'll say. If you're really interested in the figures, that's for the Nigerian government to discuss.
International politics. You've been fighting Boko Haram, and they are taking over your land. Resource control. And you have the Fulefus, and the chiefs, and the Ezes going against our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has revealed everything he has to. Chukwuemeka, bless him. That is the way the analysis is today. I want you to understand where you are headed. What's ahead of you? This is our best opportunity to exit, or else we will be consumed by Islamic fire we know nothing about. We are going to be consumed by Islamic fire we know nothing about. They are demonstrating, and their demonstration involves you. This is why we say we are Biafrans. And some of you will foolishly go and say, I'm a Nigerian. And we seem not to learn our lesson. And let the government do what's needful. And the needful thing is to say the country does not exist. Everybody go home. If it is not foreign-controlled activities, don't you know that the Fulanese will establish Arewa Republic and enjoy full benefit from Biafra? We will all enjoy cooperations economically, but I don't see that happening. Call out your name and where you calling from.
Papa Biafra.
Papa Biafra, Happy New Year.
The segment to you. You know, take your as now is call. No, I don't know what is wrong with our country. I don't know.
I apologize. The line is so busy. I apologize, Papa Biafra.
I am asking for, when are we going to have our radio talking? Our engineers, I don't know what they are doing.
We have taken up that issue. They are restoring most of the broken relays. They are replacing them. So very soon.
Okay. Alozie, my brother. I don't know what is really on the ground now. Because we are right now, I don't know what to say. Our God, what is happening to him and to you too and your family, sir?
We are fine. Everything is fine. We are
good.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
What is the line of the next action to be taken, sir, so that we will be getting ready?
Yeah, you will get the instruction. Our leader is trying, and you see when he makes the moves, he doesn't talk every day. You see, he does not talk every day.
Yeah,
he is doing great. He's doing the work of a man, and may Chukwuemeka bless him and guide him through all these things. You know, he is a full man. Yeah, we'll get your radio restored very soon. Yes, Papa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Really, I'm happy to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Through this something. So I'm really happy that I heard from you this afternoon. Mm-hmm. Because I've been longing to do so, to hear from horse's mouth anything around that is not from one guy is a waste of time. But I still pray, I know that God will do it to happen one day.
Yes.
I know. I'm sure in the heart I have that assurance that the Lord will do it one day. No matter what Zoo is doing, they're wasting their time. And those people following them, receiving prayer notes, and they start to talk with their back head. I won't say back mouth, back head. So I am happy. I urge you to continue. The Lord will do it. I know it. I am assured that the Lord will do it. Thank you very much for hearing from me. May my God Almighty bless you in the mighty name of Jesus.
Bless you too. Thank you, Papa.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Papa Biafra. Thank you very much. Die-hard Biafrans. That radio issue will be addressed once and for all, and we are getting there. We are getting there. We are fighting devils. We are fighting devils. By this time yesterday, the radio was off, temporarily. They do all they want to do. They don't want you to hear the truth. They don't want you to know what is going on. But we are telling you, caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, Mazi, greetings from here, greetings from Biafra land here. This is Oche Biafra, calling from Mahaba.
Welcome, Oche Biafra.
Yeah, Mazi, you see all these things that they are doing like this. That is the word, even the word upon the killing that they kill us during the war. Because during the amalgamation when Queen of England and Lugard enter our land, there is no time that we bargain with them that we are going to kill one Nigeria. So even upon the killing during that time till now, the world also is still watching. They are killing us even when we just do ordinary protest. The world is also still watching. They will kill us. So I don't know the reason why the world is still wicked like this. Because of the wealth that Chukwuemeka gives to us. It's not our fault. Is it our fault that Chukwuemeka blessed us? I don't know. So the world needs to answer this question. Why British and even Russia, France, and many nations joined hands to fight Biafra to come to our land and fight us during that time? Because I believe that our forefathers they did not bargain. They did not do any bargain. For British, for Queen of England as well, to come and colonize us, to come and make us one Nigeria. So it's not good, it's not unfair. And even the world as this time around, they are still watching when we protest for our land, for the bad government that the British use bad government, the people call governors, and the representatives, the South elite and senators in our land. And when we protest, they will shoot us. The world will not say anything. I'm asking the world as well, is it proper, is it good? Why are they too wicked like this for them to be eliminating us for what Chukwuemeka gives to us? Is it our fault that Chukwuemeka bless us? Is it our fault? Because if Chukwuemeka tries to choose who is going to bless, not by person, not by human being, all these menaces that the world are causing, I hope Chukwuemeka is going to destroy the world. Instead of Biafra not to come. Look, British, you people keep on using Hausa Fulani and the Yorubas to do the world, the Camelot people, the baboons, the monkey. People are using them to kill us on daily basis in our land. Look, this is not proper. You must stop doing all this thing that you are doing. If you continue, France, they are going to shoot for your parliament, British, Queen of England. You need to know this. The France this time around, we are going to shoot a very big shit for your parliament. Yeah, it's going to happen if you don't take time. Continue using Hausa Fulani to keep your France. When we talk, you look at what you did to the leader of the district of Mazi and the camera. Because you are citizen, you paid everything in England there, and you use Nigerian politics, you use Nigeria bad people to tell our leader more than the year and the 8 months, and you feel that we are going to forgive you. Look, British, your unborn children, they are going to suffer this mess. You are causing our land. Count how many generations that you have killed in our land, British. Count how many generations you are killing our generation, and you are making us to be poor. You are making us to be poor, to be more older than our age, and you claim that their own is going to move forward. It's not going to work. It's not going to work no matter Queen of England. You people need to know this. Father, Lord, them are blessed. Thank you, my brother. If I keep on watching all these things that these people use to do it to us in our land, even my leader has opened my eyes. Let me to see many things. Why these people go begin to treat us like this as if we treat them anything? We cannot steal anybody anything. Why are you the use people to steal our wealth? And they are stealing our wealth, and they are killing us. If you are stealing our wealth, you are killing us. You know what? You people are stealing our wealth, and you are killing us. And no problem. Now, Chukwuemeka is in charge. Mazi, thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you very much. Caller, your name and where you calling from. Caller.
Hello, Mazi, Alozie. Good evening, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for picking my call. My name is Mazi Onyebuchi Obi. I'm voicing out from Abakaliki province. Mazi Onyebuchi Obi is a native of Ekulumiri. Ekulumiri is in Inewi province, Biafran land. Mazi, it shall be well with you for always being there for Biafrans. May Chukwuemeka Abiyama bless you. Your generation will always celebrate you, sir. Permit me to appreciate my supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the only man who raised millions of voluntary journalists across the world. And his primary aim is to restore Biafra nation, to end the suffering of his people. I say we shall be with him. You see? Mazi, I have few comments to make. Number one, Cardinal Alozie once said that IPOB is beating world drum. I am still waiting for him to brief me what the Fulani men are beating. That is number one. Number two, I hate with passion anyone that calls himself a Nigerian. As a Nigerian, how do you intend to convince me to believe that unarmed IPOB are terrorists, while fully armed Fulani men are not? Number three, any evil man that hates Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB and Biafra freedom is either a criminal or Fulani blood is running in his veins. Number four, Nigeria expired again on 31st December 2019 at exactly 12 midnight. The world should take note. Mazi Onyebuchi Obi in Biafra and stand. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. All Biafra.
Biafra, thank you very much, Onyebuchi. Thank you.
Thank you.
The call number is +1 484 0848. What we are doing is unanimous. What we are doing is what we need to do. And that is our task. We cannot wait for our grandmothers, our mothers to do them for us. We, the able-bodied ones, are the ones that will pioneer and fight for it. Caller, your name and where you come from.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mazi Alozie. Let Chukwuemeka Abiyama bless you. Bless the whole principal officers of IPC. These are working assiduously to restore the kingdom of God on earth. And bless our Lord, leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. My name is Chimemere Mobiku. I head from Abaje in Wangele local government. My brother, I listened to the clip and what the analysis you are making. My brother, one thing I realized in Christian India is not that Christianity is bad, but the Christians lack the vision, Christians lack the strategies, but Christians, are they have population? Yes. The wisdom is there, no. The strategy is there, no. The wisdom is there, no. But are they have population? Yes. That is what is happening to the Christians. But God sent a man that will save them. On it, they on top of there, called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all sorts of them, Antichrist. He came to deceive the church. He came to break the church. He came to kill the church. But the Christians did not open their eyes and see the main people who came to kill the church. And all these things, they have the call because the population is there. They are collecting the money for the tithe is there, but the wisdom is not there. The knowledge is not there. The strategy to find what that fighting them is not there. But God bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are calling him all kinds of names, and God bring IPOP. They are calling IPOP unbelievers. They are calling IPOP those that don't know Christ. They are calling IPOP those that backsliders. They are calling IPOP all kinds of names. No wonder the scripture they read say, although they are reading, but they cannot understand. Although they are worshiping the God that they do not know. Mazi, Alozie, Biafra is here. No matter whatever anybody doing to stop Biafra, nobody born of a woman can do that. Nobody born of a woman can stop Biafra restoration. Mazi Chukwuemeka Abiyama, bless you. I have this opportunity to tell all the Abajes, please wake up.
And my brother, okay, foreign, I missed 2 numbers for the number that you gave me yesterday. Please call it back again. May Chukwuemeka bless you, Mazi Alozie.
Thank you. Caller, please.
Yes, Mazi, good morning from New York City here.
Yeah, Mazi Mbadike, welcome.
Yes, greetings, my fellow Biafrans, and my name is Chukwuemeka, and the Deputy State Coordinator in the state of New York. Mazi, I've been listening to your analysis this morning about international politics, you know. That's why when our people are talking, most of them don't know what they are saying. Even most of us that is in diaspora. Every time they're saying something, they would asking the world should come and help us, the world should come and help us. You have put it, you have put it the way it should have been, put. Is for our people to understand what they call international politics. The people that are eating from you will never come to help you unless you put yourself together. That's when those people know that you're serious. They can't do anything in your land without going through you. That's the basic of international politics. Our people should start calling, let the world come and help us. They're not going to come to help you unless you defend yourself, as our leader always says. Right from the immemorial. It's togetherness. We put fear on those international politics. They know, we've been manipulating these people for so long. Now these people have known what they didn't know before. That's the basic of international politics. America have interest in Nigeria. European countries have interest. Most of European countries that feed their people from Nigeria. If you're in Europe and you're getting an asylum there, you're getting your dough, all these benefits, social benefits they're giving you. This benefit they give you in Europe is coming from Biafra land. So if you're calling international body to come and help you, my brother, you're deceiving yourself. When we realize that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that international politics that will help us. We stand beside him, no more behind, because a lot of people say we're behind you. When you turn around, they're no more there. We're going to stand beside him now, no more behind. Beside. If you say him behind, which means if you hear the sound of a gun, you're going to run away. We're going to stand beside him now. That's what we needed to do in order for us to defeat international politics. Anybody that is eating from you will never let you go away. Mazi, I thank you very much for this topic this morning, because I keep, waiting for the time for this issue to come up, just to let our people to stop telling international, community to come and help us. Anybody that is killing you will never let you live. And Mazi, and our people keep talking about information. And this message now is directly to our people in diaspora. Our people back home need information to know what is happening around them. That's why we always come on the radio to announce this project that we're trying to put a relay station to our people home. We wanted to start this relay station project from Meru and Onitsha province, where we have big markets, where we have a lot of people that are in diaspora, but it seems like our people are sleeping till their family member dies, and they will call you on the radio. They're killing us. All these people calling us that they're killing us. You're from Ebonyi State, Enugu State, Anambra State, Abia State, Delta State, Bayelsa, Rivers, everywhere, Akwa Cross River. You need to get in contact with your families back in the abroad. Because they are the problem why you're not receiving radio in your communities. But you guys come and call Mazi Alozie. Mazi Alozie cannot give you radio. It's your people in diaspora. If your family members in diaspora, you must reach out to them. Even if they don't want to join radio IPOB, let them contribute to this project so that you people are not going to die on your bed sleep. Mazi, sometimes I keep wondering, what is going on with our people back home. We in diaspora, we okay. If we have a headache, you don't want to walk to the hospital. You lay down on your bed and call ambulance. They will come and take you to the hospital.
But most of our people, when we're trying to educate them on what to do, I have a guy now somewhere in Aba who is setting up a transmitter, group with a WhatsApp page, sending me a link to join them. Our people always think any project that we're doing it for a fraud. I called, I sent the guy a message. I said, listen, we're not doing a fraud with this project. These are people that we're trying to save their life. They think everything is buying and selling. So if your family is in diaspora and you haven't contacted them and asked them, are you part of this Biafran restoration? Do you want us to die here? So I always tell people, if your family member dies home, maybe your father or your mother, you can't escape. You must go there. Maybe on your way going there, you will die on the way. But when we're calling our people in diaspora, let's put our heads together and make something happen. The modern warfare today is technology. If you have radio, you have access to the internet, all this social media. The Western world are afraid of all this social media. But when we're telling our people, this is what you need to do, this is what you want to do, they're asking you, how much are they contributing? How much is going to be it's not about, you can get 1 million and you die tomorrow, you're not going to eat that money. So if you're in diaspora, and you try to keep blind, eyes and deaf ear, when your people die home, it's going to cost you more. Even if you're not going to go there, you're going to spend money for the burial of those people. And if our people have the information they needed, I had this guy from Kelechi from Lagos saying yesterday in his village, the radio, you see a lot of people in Ebonyi State here in New York City, Mazi, Alozie, not even in New York State, in New York City. And all these people have access to Radio Biafra app, Simple Radio, tune in, and they listen to all these programs. They even see Biafran television in their houses here now in New York. You just need to go and buy the equipment and you put it and you download the app, you see it on your television. But these people, their families are dying home. Maybe they have a 2-bedroom house. They think they have arrived. So that's why I don't get it with our people back home. All the people calling Mazi, Alozie, your radio is not talking. Talk to your coordinator in Biafra land. Your coordinator is the reason why your radio is not working, not Mazi, Alozie. So if you belong to a zone in Biafra land and your radio is not working, mark your coordinator bumper to bumper till they tell you why your radio is not working, because the relay station is already there. And talk to your families in diaspora. We have a WhatsApp forum that we have sent up, and the number is +929 326 2733. This is where you send the receipt for your payment. You don't send the money to me or Mazi, Alozie. You send it to a coordinator where you reside in diaspora. You're going to send the receipt they gave you there to this WhatsApp number. If our people back home can get in contact with their family members in diaspora, I will tell you within a month or so, the whole Biafra land, every state in Biafra land, we have 3 relay stations. If this one is not working, the next one will be working. But it's just that people just want to put a 100 naira card. They call you, Mazi, Alozie, our radio haven't started working for the past 2 months. Did you contact your coordinator? Did you contact your family member living in diaspora? And ask them, why are you part of this project? But Mazi, Alozie, our meeting, we have a meeting coming up on Sunday. Most of our branches in New York City here. We have our coordinator in Brooklyn, Mazi A.M. Chukwu. It's 646 236 5246. Or you can call our sister in Queens, Efunanya, and their number is 917 297 5037. Or you can call our coordinator in Bronx, Mazi Chukwuemeka, at 646 644 3957. Or you can call our coordinator in upstate New York, Elder Ibe, at 716 370 6246. Or our coordinator in Staten Island, and their number is 646 226 9787. And our new neighboring state that is coming up in Connecticut, and the coordinator, the person that should be coordinating this zone is Mazi Chukwuemeka. and his number is 203-666-1183. Or you can reach myself, Mazi Mbadike, at 646-645-8237. Or our state coordinator, Mazi Ezekwesili, at 832-245-5640. If you're in New Jersey, you can speak to Mazi Chijoke Oyejeje at 973-545-1726. Mazi Alozie, thank you for this opportunity, and hopefully our people will wake up and know that the problem in the relay station back home is from their coordinators, not from radio hosts. Thank you and have a good day from New York.
Thank you very much, Mazi Mbadike. Thank you. Thank you. The call number is +14847670848. We are doing everything possible to make sure these things are corrected. When we send out to give you information, we make sure it gets there. That's the most important thing. Information given out is information that is received. When it's not received, then we did not succeed. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here.
How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Well, my name is Chukwuemeka. I'm a native of Ishago, Lebanon State, Biafra land. Before I go on, I want to speak on behalf of the last speaker. There must be somebody in charge of a particular thing. If somebody says the radio is not working, it is not the coordinator that's supposed to be in charge of radio. If we hand over the case to coordinator, you will see everything will go down. There must be a separate this young man sometimes he say this information on radio must be a separate position, and somebody must be involved so that any state that their phone is not working, they will phone that person and tell him that our radio is not working, and that very person will phone to the engineer or whoever that is involved on that very state. That is how administration is working. The coordinator is there. Some of them are one time Nigeria, one time Biafra. So many things is happening, which any particular person in that very coordinator unit, when they see that the coordinator is going wrong, they have to phone a particular number to let the management know what is happening. The radio is not to pass to coordinator. If we are waiting for coordinator, you will see a lot of things will happen. So I said that it's wrong to hand the information about the radio to coordinator. That is not good. This is what I'm complaining every time from time to. There's one elder man that called, say their radio is not working. What I want to suggest is that anybody, are you hearing me? Anybody that is called that their phone is not working, the person will explain the state or a particular place that radio is not working. Even the person, when the person is talking, when you receive anybody, you try to confirm by asking them, your FM radio, is it working? By doing so, we will know and understand what is happening or what method of communication the person is using to get to the radio. Very, very important. The Igbo is very, very important. Even this 31st speech from our leader is something very, very, very necessary. That radio Biafra was playing this clip from time to time. Every information is on that tape. Every information that any human being needs is in that tape. If you take time and listen to this tape, if you listen to this tape for 100 times, you will learn 100 different things. So this information, that very tape, I know some of our people have not heard this tape because of this breakdown of relay stations. The Abakaliki last time, I complained about it. Somebody complained, and after he said that the radio has started working. But I know if that radio is working before now, the Abakaliki side, many of them is interested to call this radio. For a long time, nobody is calling from that side. That means the radio is not working there.
Mazi, we have addressed this radio issue so many times, and when you call, I try to relate to you that there are things we do. I have explained this to you so many times. There are people in charge of this radio.
I don't know how long.
Yes, but you don't know who is who. You don't know who is who. We are working with different people, and you have to assign responsibility to somebody. There are people. There are people we assign things to. Is when you fail your assignment, then we hold you responsible. I've explained it to you so many times. It is we are fighting too many things. I have explained it to you.
I know.
Yes. So that
I know.
Okay. So if you've done there you go. Thank you very much.
However, yes, however, let me close by saying, you know, by this time of this time is morning time, and in our side is going to close to evening time. Since after Egweke in our director room, it looks like many people cannot go outside, even in the market. It is difficult by this time for people in the market or in the car, like Ikena Paper and the rest of them, to hear Radio Biafra. Because everybody is afraid. The time a lot of people are hearing Radio Biafra is in the evening. Most. Like when this Chidera Ogene is on board. Because a lot of people have come back from the market and the house. Then they can listen much on Radio Biafra. What am I saying? I will like that very time to make it proper. I like the ways you are putting your program, and I Peter and the advance Onibe. That very 5 o'clock, the way this program is putting, it looks so house childish. If anything we do to model that very time, or to say the person to listen to some of you to adjust his own position, so that it will look very wise and strong. Very, very important. So let me allow other people to say, because I get annoyed when somebody says he's not hearing Radio Biafra. We have to do things so that so many people will enjoy the whole thing, because we have no other weapon except information. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Biafra. Thank you. Caller, your name and where you calling from? Yeah, your line is off. It is annoying when people don't get the radio, and we are doing things we need to do, and those coordinators are responsible. That's why they are coordinators. So when we have a fault, we know who to get in charge with. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Good evening,
all Biafrans, the lovers of freedom. My name is Mazi Joseph Onyechukwu, and Mazi Joseph Onyechukwu is calling from Obolafo. Obolafo is the then local government. It's not outside any state Biafran. I hope I'm coming out here, my honorable lecturer, Mazi Alozie.
Listening to you. Go ahead.
So my people, I say may God Almighty make God bless my leader, Mazi Nnamdi you look up for our time. Because I see say time without number that we the people of each generation should start thinking Chukwuemeka, because Chukwuemeka loves us more than anything in the earth. Because he counts us for we to be among of the people who witness this type of thing, this type of human being in our own generation. No matter all the atrocity, no matter all the sin that we have committed, God Almighty still love us more than anything, and bring our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to liberate us from this type of condition that we are. I say may God Almighty take on that direction, and may God who bring our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to protect us, to even to liberate us from this type of donor situation. May He keep us protecting Him and protect Him, because I know that He has bring Biafra for us. The next is the day of celebration, and that day of celebration is now in our doorstep. And same thing goes to our destiny that Mazi Chuka from before. This is a man of trustworthy. This is a man that stands on his word. Because it's just like God Almighty said that none of my word shall be removed from the law. And that is the same thing as what we are witnessing now from our destiny that Mazi Chuka from before. Destiny that stand on his word and said that he will never allow this platform to see corruption. And up till now, if he stand on his word and say, may God Almighty protect him, and every other Biafran that have sacrificed everything sacrificable to make sure we reach up to this level that we are today. And again, all of you, our lecturers, start from the sun rising to the Biafra outer language. As you people abandon all your business, your work, to make sure that you people be in this microphone morning and night, and even to start lecturing us and to show us and even to make us know what is happening in the world. I say may God Almighty provide every one of your needs in the million folds. Every person who bless people will be blessed, and every person who curse people will be cursed, and the present generation will be cursed. The more people come and pray. And what I'm saying this evening is just so simple. Please, my people, we are clamoring it now for the world to hear us, that the people that the so-called Nigeria is using and terrorizing us and killing our people is so-called Iran, because they have now exposed themselves. Because the reason why I say that they have exposed themselves is this. Just because of the terrorists was killed, the so-called Nigeria is now saying, why did the terrorists the so-called United States kill the terrorists? And I wonder how we say they are bringing people from Chad to come and kill our people. Because the reason why is this: if you go and say that you want to register national ID card, the people that register national ID card is all of them are from Chad. None of them is from this land. And this is the one that they are not using it and tormenting our people, killing our people, raping our mothers. And now, some of us is still posting up for Nigeria without even knowing. We don't see anything that you can get it from this so-called Nigeria, that if somebody is still standing and saying that they believe in one Nigeria. Is it because of the lack of job opportunity? And somebody will finish his education, his or her education, and end up in atrocities. He end up all Yahoo business, he end up in prostitutes, he end up in a car rider, conductor. What is that thing that you are standing on it and say that you believe in one Nigeria? Why can't you come into this global family? This is a place that all this type of things stop. Look at what they are doing in our own Enugu state. Every day by day, the so-called Fulani people that are trooping in. Now our mother cannot even go to the farm again. Our mother cannot even go and harvest even the one that cultivated in the farm, because they have used their cow and damaged everything. Which one will I mention and leave water? Look at again how they are doing our people. Look at again how they are doing our people in our own land. Yesterday, the so-called police that nearly kill our brother, because our brother said that give me back my phone. And they start doing him as if because he don't have any person to speak for him. Because they have cause. But I see going that's my guy. Because that's my guy said that it's better for him to die in his phone than to die a useless death. And he said that people must give me today, but if my phone, people must give me back my phone. At the end of everything, they did what they did. But now, because the eyes of the whole world are there, they are now saying that those three policemen have been arrested. But up to now, we have not known the outcome of what they did to those And this is the people that have been using POS, the police are using POS, snatching money from our people. They will hold you on the road and say that your paper is not correct. Maybe the difference is there is just nothing. That is not even the mistake of the owner of the vehicle, and they will start taxing you. And they will charge you the amount of money that you cannot even pay. The next thing they say that is so that they don't have money, they say that they have POS. Bring your ATM for it to slot and pay them. When will this type of mayhem stop in our land? When all this thing will stop, it's only thing that when we come into this global family, IPOB is only a teamer, IPOB is only maker. Look at it from people, you starting the house and it first into this global family. Because this is the place that you see life. This is the place that you see everything that they said that will happen as how they said it. This is the place that you will be sure of free education. This is the place that you will be sure of social amenities. Good road. Anything that you can think of. Look at it, you see an old woman that is selling something in the market. They say that they are the so-called revenue. They created a type of revenue in our land. Such thing is not in our land. But in Biafran, you see any type of revenue. The way that they are just treating our people as if they are not a human being. Some of our people, especially when they come from Osuka, I cannot even say, if you come in this part of Osuka, you can hear outside Muslim. You can hear people from Muslim from Amusha in Alozie. And this is how these people are now entering into us. This is how these people are penetrating our people. Before we know it now, all our land will be taken away from us. And our elite, they have stolen everything we have. So stand up now and come and join this global family. Because we still say it. The day is coming where there will be no road for you to come and join this global family. Today is too early. So because Ghana can we get so here by Mazi and the Kano, but they can't in a chop. Can they go in by the way, make sure that they get your book as also look at them the way, make sure. Of them, I said, Moon, we can be shut up and we can with all. Of them, I said, Moon, Mabula, they jump off the sea, they cheer you not taking them out of the head, you know. I can hear because of them go here, put a head. I can my in a chop, who say she might be able to go by on this. And can't tell you to have what's needed. About what you tell us now, the Kano, the Macho, not some year, Macanay, when he hears tonight in a lie. I lie while you go flat, go sleep. Allow me, now, Madame would never read it for 4 hours. Maybe be a photo of the Macho. But it also, you will see yourself, what you can see of the coaches, what you can see of mayor, what you can see of more type of atrocity in this land. Use that power and come and join this global family. For this type of thing, for which for even rejoice in our life. Because Biafra have come. You will see some of the slaves that say that Biafra are there, then they put Biafra in this cigar to go in. But then, they are in this cigar to go in this door. So, Alozie, let me allow other people let me allow other people to give their own contribution. But I can ask you, when the Quere IPOB or Gadere Hamma, Querea, Sulu Quere, Kuedero Noma, when the Quere Biafra or Gadere Hamma, Make Quere or Wedere Moma, when the Quere Nanandi or Gadere Hamma, Querea, Sumuchileka Bicon. Believe in this struggle, believe in this restoration effort. IPOB is here, and IPOB is the people who have stand in their word and give you what we need. So much they can tell you, I'm coming to you for you. Nagina Basso Soma, what the mom was in charge, Chukwuemeka was doing, Monday, so can be phone identify with your people. Because my American able to for let you so a bomb a Kamuru winner. McKinney, I'll be here, I go with the Biafra. I'm going to say, you surrender, you surrender with the Biafra. They can answer, no, why that your people don't even know you? By then it will be like, so let's identify with our people. The other part of Biafra land, but even I love Suka, or by mother, and the Puma radio, already in Suka, then go let it be home, where the kitchen and get to Suka, that will be from Suka cannot even afford it. For we to make this stuff, we to restore the common man. So much in a case, because let's stand up and do the needful and thank what belongs to us. In the name of Chukwuemeka, I sign up from here, the bless Mazi Alozie, and thank you. We say America come and keep us set every one of you, as people are just sacrificing everything morning and night to make sure we reach up to this level, because all our enemies, all of them have now stand up and believe that Biafra have come.
Thank you. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Mazi Alozie. Mazi Alozie, good evening from here, sir.
Good morning, welcome. Okay, foreign.
Yes, sir. Mexico care about control to give you good health. Maybe Kikra. even if I know there is a Mazi, Manukata, now. Mazi, Manakane, Kurabura Moyola. Mazi, thank you for elaborating it for our people today. Abola Haga, Mayola. But I believe it's 13. Mazi, I have to reverence on America, on members of the and all protocols observed because time matters because some of our brother they had a minute of the line. Mazi, I can be careful in the thing for Makadacha, okay, it's from Omaka. One quem. Mazi. I don't want to say much, but first of all, let me make this announcement. I'm going to take about being tomorrow. Tomorrow is our serious meeting, Mazi. Because if we say it without putting it in action, guiding our towns and villages, Mazi, so whatever we are seeing here, the LCMO is doing what we're supposed to do. Wherever we ought to come in, we're coming immediately. It's very important. Mazi, let me announce this number for Indian $10. If you are from Alozie, all over Europe and America, in diaspora, you call this number and follow us to guide our city, to guide our towns. Because our knows when I click our one, no mulo. And while we are calling, making this announcement, giving this number, we are telling our beloved brothers and sisters, especially those of them that place on Mazi, America and London. Those people that build their houses out and we sell them and they get men. We are telling them, we are asking, we are commanding you to terminate whatever appointment you have with them. Otherwise, whatever you see, you take it. As long as you are one zone, all the comprising is that to out of this zone. One game everywhere in Java, everywhere, as long as you are old, forget all this nonsense, no local government to divide the road there. If you are from all of you, you know where is all zone. Is transforming all of you now. Those of you that put those get men in your houses, you build your mansion. If you go to out on this road now, there are some buildings, 18 people, 19, 20 in one house. And tomorrow, and we are not going to take it lightly. As long as you remain in war and you don't want to adhere to this our callings. Because this is the time. Everybody must do the need for respect. The numbers are here. Let me call it. If you are from all, and this is my beloved brother from Abuja. Please, if I'll give you my number now, get a pen, I'll give you my number now. Please, if you are from Alozie, please, for God's sake, you call us on these numbers, please. Come up, let us fortify our city. You come as a check, I'm camera on 971-336-7784. I repeat, come boy slowly. Come on, I could be just no another. Be careful in that way. As a check, I'm camera is in Oregon, America. 971-336-7784. Then the case in the one is Aaron Lizog is in the Belgium. You can call him on this number +32-465-303-826. I repeat, case in the one is 32-465-303-826. And another person is Ndebisi Osuala. Where you call Netherlands, Holland. His number is +31-685-810-975. I repeat, +31-685-810-975. And myself, okay, for you, see you, 48 +48-739-672-638. I repeat, +48-739-672-638. Please, if you are from tomorrow is our meeting. Try identify with us tomorrow. No, no. Without security, without us securing our land, that your work is nonsense. So you better come up now. Forget your position. No, it doesn't count now. What counts now? How to secure this our place? And as we are doing that, we want every other town, every other provinces in Biafra land to follow suit. Because what is happening now?
Look at what is happening everywhere. Other touchy. And the last thing I want to say here about our beloved brother, Chukwuemeka said if they talk about Kriola, we don't want to overflow this matter. But the places are in a position of this transmitter. I don't know about my body, of him, because he met for him for security purposes. But Kohota, if you have a body, I cannot do that. No, watching my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We know what we are doing. We know what is going on. So we have to handle it the best way. The coordinators are responsible. When anything goes wrong, you hold them responsible. We know what we're doing. And despite that, you know that we're fighting a lot of invisible hands. And you should expect it. The other ways you can listen to the radio, but we are doing everything possible to ensure that our people enjoy the radio. It is their radio, and they ask for it, and they are getting it. They are getting it more than they used to. The only thing is that once they get hooked to it, you get a problem. When they don't hear it, they are ready to fight. That means something good is happening. Call out your name and where you're calling from. Call out your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Your name and where you're calling from. We are listening to you. Your name and where you're calling from. I don't think your line is through. You have to hang up and call back. You know, it acts like it's true, but it's not. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. Call out your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi, good morning.
Good morning from here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Mazi, I really want to the guy who called mine, the guy who called from Osaka. He said there is no radio in Osaka. There is a radio in Osaka, but because the radio is not big to cover the whole of Osaka. So, and I'm not sure how to get hold of him. He have to keep on repeating that if anybody called, he should be able to explain, and whoever is calling from should identify himself. Are you with me, sir?
Yeah, we are listening. Go ahead.
Okay. You said that we should identify with him. We will do identify with them. How? Because there is no communication. It's very difficult to get hold of them. I tried my possible best. The guy that I got hold of his number promised to get back to me for a couple of days now. I think before Christmas, they have not come back to me. And they say that, okay, this is the water to come, or this is the unit. And but the way we keep on coming every day and screaming, we should be able to identify ourselves. So I will plead to you if you can be able to leave contact and we can get hold of him, because I can see the word from vocal coming up from Osaka. For him to say there's no radio in Osaka, I'm not sure that is not true, because there is a radio and I'm aware of that. And secondly, what I want to say this morning, Mazi, is that please, our deputy, if he's coming on the air, please can you make an announcement to tell our people? It's not proper. If I'm sounding wrong, please correct me. It is not proper when our deputy is on the air, and some other guys are in a different platform preaching whatever I don't understand. And if you go to online to listen to our deputy, somebody else is sending you a message like Facebook is reminding you Mr. So is online, Mr. So is online. And in a law, whichever way, in the left front, in the army, in the government, when either president or deputy is speaking, the rest cabinet, they must listen. Every other person must leave whatever they are doing and listen to the president or the deputy president. It makes no sense to me, and it does not show respect that our our deputy is online yesterday night, and some other guy in a different platform is saying a different thing in the name of preaching Biafra. This is not a place where to make money. We are crying it louder here that we needed to go home as of yesterday. And maybe somebody is shouting from home and in the diaspora say, give us command, give us command. And the day that the command will come, we are using a different platform. And the deputy is online speaking something very important yesterday. Everybody else is listening. You go to Facebook and you find out that somebody else, about 2-3 different people that is very popular in the social media, are making broadcasts when our deputy is online. What does that tell you? How disciplined are you if you're going to do that when deputy is online? Yeah, they don't do that when supreme leader is online preaching, but the deputy show him the same, according to the same respect, he show all that. So when our deputy is online preaching and he's sending us message that we need to listen to him properly in case there is a danger ahead. And we know every day will come up, there's something that they want to tell us. And we are listening to them and somebody else is here disturbing us with the same message here and there. To say, yeah, I'm online. So please, Mazi, that's what I want to contribute. And then before I sign up from here, in terms of Mazi, okay, foreign, speak yesterday in terms of contribution, calling our people that if you have money, please help us, send the money, come to contribute. Some of our two guys called to contradict what you were saying. Mazi, okay, foreign, have never begged anybody to contribute. You just speak and say that we needed it. I don't know why we came up in the day and they forget the reason why we are here. If occasionally say something, we must use your teeth and count your tongue. Why did he make that announcement? Why did he say what he said? So I'm not going to you say that. Because to be honest with you, what we are for us we are in that for yes, that is the truth. But this is the only hope I get you. This is the only way I can bad and the buy. Then open the social media. Open the end of saying we make borrow. And the condition and our top leader said, okay, let's collect and do something. Somebody just buy the Battle she's something with a woman by rape or brutally bought. No, and the guy says it's warrant. And if money can solve a problem today, tomorrow, somebody came and said, okay, I will do this, I will give some amount of money, this is what to do that. He said, we'll come with the money. Yeah, no matter how much you pray, the other guy says, with the spirit, will do this, or will pray that you land, will do that. Can that guy come up and ask our spirit how much is spending in the capital hill and other places in the going? You don't know how much is involved in getting far where we is now. So somebody should not come up and say we don't need anybody to help. We need help. Somebody preached to me before I joined this, and it was already Biafra. I heard somebody screaming one day. If you are IPOB, it's not people of Biafra, please identify yourself. Please go this, please do that. And I will do the meet for and identify yourself. We have joined, somebody came somewhere and said, no, we don't need. You don't know who will join tomorrow. You don't know who will come out tomorrow to able to be the savior that you are looking for. Please, somebody should not discourage anybody to say, we don't need you, we don't need anybody, but we need whoever to come now. Whether it's a thief or whether it's not a thief, let him enter further, we now interrogate and know how all the money come about. We don't just receive money because the person brings billion, we just collect billion. Our leader is not stupid, so they shouldn't just cause discourage because you don't know you're listening. You don't know when the spirit is moving. They say, hey, you are the one they are talking to, go and help the people. And somebody will call in the next 30 seconds, we don't need you. We don't need that much. Please talk to our people so that they will know how to make a statement and when to retreat from it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You spoke very well. I like what you said, and it made a lot of sense. It makes sense.
Thank you.
Yes, I like what you said. This is why we have Radio Biafra. You voice your opinion, and from your opinion, we learn. We don't know it all. And nobody knows it all. This when you contribute, when you make your own opinion, then we get things out of it. And when we feel we are wrong, we tell you. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Good afternoon, Mazi Alozie.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for taking my call. God bless you. Mazi Alozie, my name is Mazi Okafo. I'm calling from Oka. I hail from Obola for the Demo local government, Enugu province, Biafra land. Mazi Alozie, please. I want to my respect to our leader, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his deputy. Every other political observed. Mazi Alozie, please, I did not actually call to argue, but I called to make a correction. Thank God it was on your program that I reported a time some months ago when Operation Show Your Identity stormed Docker and was in kind of intimidating people. After that call, somebody called from US and said it wasn't true. He called and made inquiry and it was not true. Today, this young man that the last speaker, who is from my area too, who is from Onsuka, also countered what my brother Mazi has been complaining. Radio is not in Onsuka, that is a fact. You people in abroad should not be confusing us. Radio is not in Onsuka. There is a wave coming down 100.3 from Enugu. Once you get close to P around Onsuka, you cannot hear anything any longer. In those days, there was also a wave of 102.1. I don't know where that one is situated, but it's not clear. I was in Obola on the 3rd of January. And because I have called so many people to see how I can get contact of Mazi because he's the local government coordinator of my own local government. I'm an IPOB member in Oka, doing my best to see that I restore my fatherland, Biafra. But I still want to identify with my people down in Onsuka because we have to, charity begins at home, we have to run around there and make sure that what is happening in Oka should be happening down in Onsuka. It was on Facebook that I got Chima Joseph, and I started communicating him until I get home on that 3rd, and I went straight to where he is. We discussed a lot of issues. They were supposed to hold IPOB Onsuka area, both home and abroad. But because of the commitment I had that very day, I was not able to give what I think I gave the token that I can to support whatever thing they are doing, and I'll keep on following up. It was this same Mazi Joseph who gave me the number to the coordinator of my own village. I went to the coordinator too. I saw what I did, and I encouraged him that henceforth I would be purposefully coming home once a while to see that very unit is well built and grown to its fullest capacity in my home village in Ihako. So, my brothers, please, Boko Haram is doing exactly what I had in mind. If you are IPOB, we identify with the people in your villages. This message has to reach our villages. It's very important. Just like people in the diaspora. If every person, every IPOB member in the diaspora, in the diaspora, call his or her friend, his family at home to identify with IPOB, definitely IPOB will saturate all our villages because all of us there in that diaspora come out from a particular village. So this should be well noted that we need to do our best. I'm glad that I have had to henceforth I'll be communicating with Mazi Joseph, and our people are rising up. But we need to install a radio station in Onsuka. I know that if you buy a high definition this thing, you can get Radio Biafra, but it doesn't have a good number of coverage. What we need is to install a radio station there that if you had a Nokia touch, like one of my sisters said from that Onsuka side, you'll be able to do Radio Biafra and listen to it. This is what is going to make our people to be aware of what is happening. Chukwuemeka was not decided to give up Biafra because if we happen to release Biafra now, a lot of people will still come into Biafra with the mentality of the Jew. The Radio Biafra is there prioritizing us to make sure that we remain Biafrans. When the Holy Nation is restored, all of us will be in one accord, not behaving like Almajiri. So Radio Biafra is doing the work of the religious work. The religious work with our people, the religion in Biafra lands are first to do. That's what Radio Biafra is doing now. So people in the diaspora, if we give a report, we are not here to lie. The reason why we did not continue with Matop is because we were betrayed. So we will not come up into ITOB and start lying. There's no Radio Biafra in Onsuka. So people should, those who are in the diaspora, running around and know how best we can install radio in Onsuka. There is 7 local government comprehensive Onsuka. Forget about divide and rule. When they say it's local government is not Onsuka. It's included in Onsuka. So if they are within the Sugo, it went the north, it went the south, Onsuka local government, it went city, and the rest of the local government know what and the rest of it. Running around and let's know how many transmitters we have to install in Onsuka. Let everybody be carried along. Onsuka has to be the one to give Idom and the Gala the right because those are our brothers, our neighboring brothers there. We need to do the needful. If you are an Onsuka man, identify with us in Onsuka. I'm in Oka, but I must have to tell you that I will be going back home regularly to make sure that the ITV, particularly in my village, is up and running, and the local government is doing what they're doing. I want to thank Mazi Chimajoke. He is doing very great. I was so surprised when I met with this young man. I was so surprised the kind of evangelism he's doing there in the local government. This young man is doing his best. Everybody should rally around. Every local government in the Suka should follow suit. Because I've not been hearing the comment of other local government coordinators, but Chima Joseph is doing so great around that side. He's doing very well.
Yeah, thank you.
When our brothers were arrested, 42 members of our brothers arrested and detained by the army, Chima Joseph filed this case. He was given the report of those men were released. So we should do the needful. I am pleading. If you are from Suka, Enugu North, but including into the local government, please let's identify with the IPOB in our villages.
Thank you,
so
Mazi.
that we can make a strong IPOB down there.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So thank you very much, Mazi Alozie.
Thank you very much. The radio issue is well on the limelight. Everybody should understand that. And when somebody complains, the reason for complaining is for us to know. And nobody is restricted from expressing his opinion. Our knowledge is limited. What we know is what we know. What we don't know, we don't know. The extent to which the radio covers. That is where we have the misunderstanding. But at the main point, we must ensure that people should access the radio as much as they come, and we continue to improve. We will continue to improve and make sure that the relay station, that is why there are relay stations, more relay stations are put in place. They are not countering you because they are saying you are a liar. They are countering you because they say, oh, we are hearing. But some will hear, some will not hear. Even in Ugocha, some will hear, some will not hear. Even when you tune international radios, there are some areas you stay, you receive stations. There are ways you miss it. Like even people call, I tell them, move around so that I can hear what you're saying. So let us not take this to the extreme. The relay stations are serving their purpose, and there will be many relay stations to cover areas not covered. So let nobody feel offended or disrespected. That is the way I will get that going. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Biafra.
Oh, good morning, Mazi. Welcome.
Hi, Mazi. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much. Fellow Biafrans, good morning. My name is Mazi Barakwe, calling from Brooklyn, New York. Mazi Barakwe is from Misalan, in Okigwe province.